Remember when I told that joke yesterday about the guy who he ruined everything by talking? Do you remember that joke? I may tell the joke a little bit later for this film so you get it. That joke, the joke is a delivery vehicle. So the joke is part of the Trojan horse. And the joke itself contains metaphors because the idea of being whisked away in a storybook carriage, that itself is a metaphor. It's talking in one term about something else. Because we're really not talking about being whisked away in a carriage. We're talking about being taken sexually, aren't we? But we're not. A metaphor is simply a structure that talks about one kind of experience with language from another kind of experience to make it more acceptable so it slides past resistance. Do you understand? Fairy tales are metaphors. Hansel and Gretel is not really about kids being lost in the forest. It's about the dangers of going deep into the unconscious mind, the woods of desires and fantasies and hidden things. And so they leave that trail of breadcrumbs. That's thinking, okay, I'm going to remember my conscious consensual reality so I don't get too lost in the forest of fantasy. Now, what lives in the forest? What lives in the forest are many delights, but also danger. The ravenous wolf that wants to eat you, that's the desire to consume another person that could destroy you and destroy other people. It's the projected desire of Hansel and Gretel. Do you understand? The woodsman who comes along and saves you, that's your superego. That's your conscience, your moral sense that's going to prevent you from disaster. And yet the woodsman is very violent, isn't he? He gets to kill. He's the only one in the story who really gets to taste blood and to kill. Is it and I'm confusing the big bad wolf and the woodsman, but you understand? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So metaphors are a way of structuring, are both the Trojan horse, but they also contain a powerful way of leading the unconscious mind without even giving direct suggestions. Now, I did give suggestions inside of that story. I did say, you know, when he put on the blindfold, she could feel excited and dangerous, and she could feel scared. You understand?
What role does symbolism?
Hold on. Do you understand? Metaphors are really powerful. And here's the other thing. When you get people's personal metaphor. Now, this is part of the new Speed Seduction course, 2008, Speed Seduction 3.0. I teach how to use women's personal metaphors to seduce them and to persuade and influence. That's very powerful. What is a personal metaphor? Well, you ever meet women who are really into like fairies? They collect little pictures of fairies or something like that. That's somehow she structured her consciousness to believe in fairies. So anything that has to do with fairies will influence her on a profound level. So just use those symbols. Do you understand? That's advanced stuff. I want to give you basic language pattern mastery. So let's slow down, take a breath. Let's get back to it. So the basic building blocks are commands and suggestions. You understand? We can embed, we get commands inside, we sneak commands by using weasel phrases. A person can. People can. A person might. People might. Another good weasel phrase is, if you were to. That's a good weasel phrase. If you were to feel horny, Debbie. If a person were to feel horny, Debbie. If you were to is really just another way of saying imagine it. Just imagine, just suppose. Do you understand? I'm not saying that you should feel horny. I'm saying if you were to feel horny. Do you get it? If you were to, let it happen tonight. I'm not saying she should. I'm just saying, just suppose, imagine. If you were to is sort of like saying once upon a time. Whenever you hear once upon a time, what do you know is following next? A political speech? You know it's going to be a fairy tale. So when you hear once upon a time, your conscious critical mind relaxes because you've been conditioned that when you hear once upon a time, turn on your childlike mind, turn off your critical mind. So when you say, if you were to feel horny, or if you were to allow yourself to feel horny,